SD card. And boom, everything's recording, right? Yeah, okay. Hello and welcome, my name is Eric, and today I want to give you my top 3 genius questions. Yes, I was a genius. I worked for Apple for the better part of a decade, and most of that was at the Genius Bar. And I know some of you may be doing the whole like eye-rolling thing, and I get it. Not everybody has had a great experience at the Apple Store or the Genius Bar in particular, but my goal here is to just share some knowledge, hopefully save you a headache and possibly a trip to the Apple Store. Disclaimer, Apple has absolutely nothing to do with this. They don't even know I exist. Well, they do because they got a bunch of documents on me, but they have nothing to do with this video. I have no statistics to back any of this up. This is just my own thoughts of the top 3 questions that I felt that I got asked most common. And to be honest, I've recorded this a couple times already, and it's just like a mouthful, so I'm trying to condense it and make it concise and also make sense for the sake of pacing of this video. If at any point you have any questions or confused by something, pause the video, leave a comment, I'll get back to you. I always check the comments because there's usually like 1 or 2 if I'm lucky. But leave a comment, I'll be happy to answer. So we're gonna do this countdown style. Number 3 is what is on iCloud. The simplest way to do this is to go to a browser. I believe it needs to be Safari or Google Chrome. You're gonna go to iCloud.com. You're gonna log in with your information. If you're at this point and you're like, I don't know my password, that's your first problem. What you need to do is go to iforgot.apple.com. Follow the steps there, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But assuming you know your password, you're gonna log into iCloud.com and you're gonna see a bunch of little panes that look like apps. And that is how you can check what is actually on iCloud. The reason why this is the best place to start is that when you're syncing up your devices, like your phone and your iPad, let's say, when you enter something on your phone, the first place it has to go is iCloud.com before it's gonna go to your iPad. So if you ever have something on your phone and it's not on your iPad, if it's not on iCloud.com, that will definitely explain why it is not on your iPad. If you are in the situation, what you want to do is go on your phone, which let's go ahead and do that now together. We're going to go into our iPhone and we're going to go to settings. And then we're going to go ahead and go down to accounts and passwords. And there we have iCloud. Now, under that, you're going to see a bunch of different things. You have mail, contacts, calendars, reminders, etc. These are things that can sync using iCloud. Now, what I mean by sync is that it's going to take whatever's on the device that you have, and it's going to make it the same on your other devices or wherever else you have signed into your iCloud account. If you thought it was syncing your contacts and that little bar is not turned on or green, that explains that, doesn't it? But usually it's not that simple, because why would it be, right? So the next place what you want to check is look at your other accounts you have in there. So just hit the little back in the upper left-hand corner and see what else you have there. If you are using something that also has a service to sync your information like Gmail, Exchange, and a bunch of other ones that do that, what you want to do is make sure you only are using one. Doesn't really matter which one. If you want it to be iCloud, then what you want to do is turn off syncing, except for mail, on your other accounts. But if you want to choose one of your other ones, then you obviously want to just turn it off on iCloud and the other ones and pick the one that you chose. If you do have an account that you have to use for work, like you have an Exchange account, my suggestion is to download the Exchange app or whatever corresponding app it is to the service that you have. Like Gmail also has an app. The reason is it'll keep this separate from your information. You can have separate notification settings. You can have separate calendar, all that stuff will be separate. You don't have to worry about like hiding and toggling everything else just to see what you need to see. Just use a separate app, make your life simple. If you're not sure what you have on those accounts, what you're gonna wanna do is go to your phone app, which let's go back into that. We're gonna go to phone or the contacts app. I just do phone because my contacts app is hidden somewhere. You're gonna tap on contacts in the middle, and in the upper left hand corner you're going to see groups, and here you'll see all of the different groups and services that are syncing your contacts. So the easiest way to figure out what's on what is just to hide everything but the one that you want to see. So again, Gmail, Exchange, you just hide everything else but those services, and that'll show you what's on there. To consolidate everything, which means like to put everything into one place, honestly the easiest way is just to manually type it in. If it is a ton of them, ton of calendar events or a ton of contacts. Leave a comment, I'll walk you through the rest. But really that's it for iCloud. There is also backups, actually. Okay, let's talk about backups. Really the only way that you can see what devices are backed up is if you're on that specific device. If you, let's say the device is disabled or something like that and you don't know if it's ever created a backup, right now there's not really a way to see that outside of going to the Apple Store. They can look up your account and they can see when your last backup was made on that device. But for you, as a customer, the only way to really see is on your device, at least as far as I know, as of this recording, as many disclaimers say. But the way you do that is you're gonna go back into your phone, do that again, you're gonna go into settings, accounts, right back to where we were, iCloud, and then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see iCloud backup. When you tap on that, it'll show you when your last backup was. By default, iCloud will back up your device anytime your device is connected to Wi-Fi and also connected to power. That goes for pretty much any of them. iCloud, I do want to clarify this very quickly. iCloud does not back up your computer. Again, does not back up your computer. This is something that a lot of people get confused about. There is a part of iCloud called iCloud Drive, but that functions like Dropbox or Google Drive, where it's a very limited space and only things that you put in there are saved or backed up. So clarification there. That's going to be it for the iCloud. Question number 2. I forgot. Question number 2, why do I keep getting a message that tells me my startup disk is full? This is a surprisingly common thing. First off, I think it's helpful if we define what startup disk is. Every time you turn on your computer and it does a little chime thing and it starts showing you the Apple logo and the little progress bar, or if you're still on some older OS, kicking it old school, you got the little like spiral thing going. What that's doing is it's looking for an operating system. It's whatever operating system you have, whether it's Sierra, High Sierra, El Capitan, Lion, Tiger, Bears, oh my, whatever it may be, that's what it's looking for. The disk, whether it's your hard drive, solid state drive, whatever storage device that operating system is on, that is your startup disk, at least as far as the computer knows. So when it's telling you your startup disk is almost full, all that means is that the whatever storage drive, which 98% of us are going to have it on our internal storage device. I say storage device because it could be a hard drive, could be a solid state drive. They serve the same function. But it's telling you that the drive that has your operating system on it is getting maxed out on space. This can affect your performance of your device. On newer ones that are all solid state coolness, it's not as an issue, but if you get it too much, it can actually affect your computer's ability to boot up all the way, which means like it can affect its ability to actually get to your screen where it's your background and your stuff. So you definitely want to be able to manage this properly. By default, there is a way to check what's using up all your stuff. Now, if you're one of those few people that know like, oh, I have a ton of music or I have a ton of pictures or videos or whatever it may be, then you want to just take those, move them off of your computer. I made a video not too long ago talking about the difference between backups and scratch disks. I'll put that link in the description below. Check that out, that'll help clear that up. But you want to get that off of your computer. If you're not sure what you have on your computer that's using up so much space, there are some apps that do that. The only one that I know of that I use personally is something called Daisy Disk. It's available in the Mac App Store. I believe it's $10. No sponsorship or endorsement there. That's just the one that I got. I think I may even have gotten it for free at one point. I don't really remember. But that's pretty cool because what you can do is you can see everything that your computer has. So it'll just, when you open it up, it just shows you a list of all the drives that are connected to your computer. You click scan on the one that says Macintosh HD by default, and it's going to show you everything that you have, and it's automatically going to sort it by what's using up the most amount of storage. And from there, you can use that to help figure it out. If you don't want to do that or don't want a third-party utility, there is a way to do it in Finder, though it takes a little bit of extra steps. I'm gonna go ahead and go over that very quickly. It's kind of beyond the scope of this video, but we're gonna try and rush through it. You're gonna go to the window that you want to check out. So let's say it's your home folder, right? So you can go to Finder, go to Go, Home. It may show up by default there. Then what you're gonna do, and just listen to what I say here, hold down Command, hit 2. Then you're gonna keep holding down Command, you're gonna hit J, as in Jerry, Tom and Jerry. Command J, that's gonna bring up a View Options menu. And at the bottom, you'll see a little box that's unchecked that says Calculate Sizes. You're gonna check that box, and then you're gonna close that little window. You're gonna go back to your home screen. And what you're gonna see is that it's gonna start calculating everything in your folder. It may take it some time if you've got a lot of stuff, but what you can do is in that view that you're currently in, you'll see like name, probably date modified, date created, and size. Click on where it says size, and that's gonna automatically put it in order by what's using up most. And you can do this, you have to do this for each folder that you wanna check out, which is why I say it takes a little bit of extra steps. But that's really the only way that I've found to look in Finder and see what's there. The downside to using this method is that it doesn't show you hidden folders. So in some rare occasions, I have seen where your email client, whether it's the built-in mail app or the Outlook app or any other mail client that you may be using, will get stuck and it keeps downloading the same email message over and over, and it will usually have an attachment of some kind, and it just starts eating up your data. So if you're in this situation, leave a comment. I'll tell you how to check it out. Question number 1. The number 1 question I got asked, usually very angrily, was why is my battery life so bad? People get really aggressive about this issue, and I don't really understand why they get so aggressive about it, but they do. So here's my best shot at answering it the best I can. First off, I want to talk about batteries. Batteries are very simple, relatively simple components of your computer. What I mean by that is that all they do is provide power. And because they are relatively simple, they are also very easy to test. On your mobile device, this is not so easy to see. There's not really anything that's customer facing, as they call it, that you can check out on your own. You pretty much have to go make an appointment at the Apple Store and have them test it out. But what you can do is, again, we're gonna go back to the phone and we're gonna go to Settings, and then what do we got? Battery. And then you're gonna see battery usage, little thing at the bottom, and under that you will see what's using up, or what has used up, most of your battery in the last 24 hours. They also have an option for the last 7 days, and I go on Instagram a lot. I need to do more posting though, so yeah, something to work on, improvements. This will help you figure out if it is something that you're doing. The most common reason that I've seen is that people will leave the displays on where they don't have it automatically lock, and then they'll just like leave it on their desktop or whatever, and then they just keep working and it stays lit the entire time. That will eat up your battery so fast. On computers though, there actually is a way that you can check it out. Now this disclaimer, again, not, I repeat, not 100% accurate, but it can give you a good idea if you're curious. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to your little desktop. You're gonna click on the Apple logo in the upper left-hand corner. You're gonna hold down the Option key. If you look down, it's the 1, 2 over from the space bar. Hold down the Option key and you will see About This Mac change to System Information. Hold down the Option key, keep holding that down. You're gonna click on System Information. When you click on that, you're gonna see this window pop up that has a whole bunch of text. Don't worry about it. On the left-hand side, you're gonna see Power. You're gonna go down and click on that. In there, you will see a bunch of stuff too, but you're gonna look for a little thing that says Battery Status, and that's gonna be kind of towards the bottom of the window, so don't scroll down, but it'll be there. And it's not very scientific. It either says good, bad, or replace now. Most of the time it's gonna say good. I'm not really gonna go bother into telling you what this actually means, but this will give you an idea, again, not 100% accurate, if your battery is actually faulty. If you feel that your computer battery doesn't last very long and you feel like it stays pretty warm, that's usually because it's not the battery, that there's something else that is either stuck and it's just sitting there cooking up your CPU, not damaging it, but just causing it to work really hard, which is going to drain your battery. That's where the problem is. What you can use to figure this out, again, not 100% accurate, is you can use Activity Monitor. Show you how to get there. You're gonna push, hold down, stay with me now, Command, Shift, both of those together, and then you're just gonna quickly tap the U key. Tap the U key. And it's gonna bring up a window in Finder that says Utilities. The top one there is Activity Monitor. You're gonna double click on that to open it up. The other thing you can do if you don't wanna worry about the keyboard shortcuts, just go to Spotlight in the upper right hand corner and type in Activity. Usually the first thing that pops up is Activity Monitor. When you first get this open, what I want you to do is go to View at the top menu bar, and you're gonna go down to All Processes. When you click on that, that's gonna show you everything that the computer's doing, and by default, it puts it in by what's using up your CPU most. If there's something there that is using up your CPU, generally you're gonna know what it is. Like it'll have a pretty obvious name. It'll be like Safari Web Content or Chrome something or another, and whatever it may be. If it's an application, it'll usually be pretty obvious. If it says kernel task and it's at like 200-300%, go to the Apple Store. I'm not gonna tell you anything more than that, but just go to the Apple Store. Well, first restart your computer. If it's still doing the same thing, go to an Apple Store, get your computer checked out. But going back to my original point, batteries are very simple. They just provide power. Most of the time, honestly, like 90% of the time when somebody thinks that they're having battery issues, it's something else that's using up the battery more quickly than it should. And that's usually because it's using up another resource like your CPU, and it's just using it way more than it should. So if you're thinking that you have some battery issues, try these steps first. It might save you some time. Please just check it out. If you do end up going to an Apple Store, please be nice to those people. They're all just trying to help. Really, they got the best intentions. They're good people, most of them. But that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. I know it was a ton of information, but leave some comments down below. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Hope you have a wonderful day. Always remember to love yourself, and I cannot wait to share the next video with you.